Hey guys, David Patrick Green, davidpatrickgreen.com, hackhollywood.com, Actor Power Coaching, not .com, actorpower.com. Really happy to be back. Just going to adjust myself a little, check my hair. Better hair day than normal today. I have an excellent video for you guys that's going to help you tremendously, especially those of you who are starting out in the business and those of you who are maybe you've been in it for a little while, but you're just going to try and get your first agent, or maybe you're trying to switch agents. So my topic today is going to be about how to approach agents and what to do if they approach you. But before I do that, I want to do something at the front end that I usually do at the end, and that is, look guys, I am trying to give you the best possible advice. I am all about empowering actors, okay? Get the power, and then when you show it to the world, they will see how amazing you are. So I really want to empower actors, and to do that, I need to get encouragement that what I'm doing is helpful. I know it is, but I need you guys to recognize it and let me know. So if you like this material, if you like this video, please like it. Please share it to other people, because sharing is important. Helping others is extremely important. In fact, all of your success depends on helping others. You help them, they will help you. Trust me, people don't forget that stuff. And finally, look, subscribe to this channel, because then you will get notifications, if you turn on notifications, of when I release other videos that might be really helpful to you. Okay, on to the topic. What to do to get an agent, or what you should do when you are approached by an agent. Okay, so if you want to get an agent, you have to figure out what it is that an agent might want. So anytime you want to approach people in life, try and put yourself in their shoes first, okay? That will solve everything. Then you'll know, do I have anything they might want? In which case, if you don't, then go get it, go figure it out. And then if you do have what they want, how do you present it to them? And, you know, either the method or the medium, okay? How to present yourself to these people. So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, okay, who is this agent? You need to, first of all, look up agents in your area, and this applies to no matter where you live. I hear so many excuses. I was talking to an actress in Toronto yesterday, and she was saying, oh, well, I heard that's much easier in LA, or I'm a girl and there's a lot more guys parts. And I'm like, you know, the world is what the world is. You know, whether you think these things or not, it doesn't really matter. You still have to do the same things, okay? If you're a beaten down minority, or if you're a woman or anyone else who feels belittled, it is what it is. You can either become an activist and try and change the world, or you can just say, hey, this is the world, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I recommend you don't let anybody else stop you, because you know what? Even the most vehement racists and sexists and what have you respect talent if you have the guts to put it in front of them, okay? All of the athletes who have made it, all of the entertainers who have made it, they are able to overcome whatever stigma, whatever ism has been attached to them by somebody else. Just don't worry about it. Do your thing, and don't let anyone else tell you what you're going to do, okay? So look up the agents that you can find in your area and see who is on their roster. You can do this on IMDb Pro. You have to pay a subscription, but you only have to pay it for 1 month, and then you can get rid of it until you need it again. But you can get all the listings for agents in your area, or you can just Google them. You could just call a production company in your area. You could call the production office for your state or your region, your municipality. Various regions have film offices where they encourage producers to come and shoot. So look them up, get yourself a list of agents, figure out the one that might be the closest match based on what you want to do in your life. And of course, you need to be specific and clear about who it is you think you are. Don't call saying you want to do everything. The more clear and specific you are about your plan, the more they will actually respect you. If you just kind of go in all loosey-goosey, lackadaisical, I could do comedy or I could do drama. I don't want to sacrifice one over the other. Look, nobody can do it all. You just only have one life. So pick one thing and be really good at that. And then if you get to the top of that, you can always try something else. Okay? It's much easier to move laterally at the top than it is at the bottom, because you have credibility. That's why Bill Gates can build a software company and all of a sudden he's now saving the world from infectious disease. Because he has credibility, people will listen to him. Because he did it in one area, they figure, well, you could probably do it in some other area too. Okay, so you get your list of agents, start with 3 or 4, because if you have a compelling reason why they should take you on, then maybe they will take you on. If you have just randomly selected people and you have no sort of pitch for them, why you're a good fit for them, then why would they take you? It doesn't make sense, right? So put yourself in the agent's shoes. What might I be looking for based on where I'm located and based on who else is on my roster and what they have done? Try and find yourself an agent that way. To approach the agent, don't use social media. Don't use email. Don't use the phone if you can avoid it. Don't use any indirect method if at all possible. Best suggestion I have for you is to show up. Show up at their door. Don't have a picture. Don't have a resume. Don't have any of that. All you need is you. Actors are so caught up in trying to put something in between them and the people they're trying to reach that they may never actually get the chance to meet the people because whatever they've put in the way is not giving them the right impression. So maybe your social media posts don't catch their attention. Maybe your headshot is not very good and not compelling. Maybe it doesn't represent who you are. Your reel might not be that good. You might think it's great, but they might think it's garbage. And unfortunately, that happened to me. I did the rounds as an actor, and I walked into people's offices, and I actually did it in Toronto myself back in the day. And I said, look, I just arrived from Los Angeles. I'm literally trudging around in the snow. I walked into people's offices. I said, this is what I've done. I came from a really good acting school. I'm very confident in my abilities. Would you be interested? And I think out of 10 agencies, probably 4 of them said yes. And the no's were no big deal. It was kind of like, they told me leave your stuff, which I did because I was naive at the time. But even that was better than doing all these, email, telephoning types of things because you never even get a chance to interact with someone. I at least got to interact with someone at the front desk or in a smaller agency. I spoke to the agent themselves and they said, okay, well, give me your stuff and I'll take a look and I'll let you know if I'm interested. That's fine. That's much better than all of those other approaches. But even better, don't bring anything at all. Actually have a conversation with the person. Because anything that they're going to get out of your resume, your headshot, your reel, etc., is something that you could tell them and you could elaborate on and you can expand on and you can focus on the areas that you want to focus on instead of what they see and what they are focused on. They might focus on flaws. They might focus on the fact that you don't have the training they are looking for. You don't have the credits they are looking for. You don't have special skills. You're blonde and they have another blonde. They're going to have all these objections in their mind, but if you're there right in front of them, you can address those objections, and that is Sales 101 is addressing objections, okay? You ask questions, or they ask you questions, and you address them with what you want to say, because only you know you. So that's how I would approach them. Now, let's say, look, I don't have time to meet right now. Okay, fine. When would you like to meet? That would be your next question. When would you like to meet? Let's set a time right now. All I need is 5 minutes of your time to tell you about why I'm such an amazing actor and why I'd be a great choice for you. Okay? So then they go, okay, fine. Get an appointment. When you go to the appointment, you have to have a plan. The plan is, this is what I'm doing, the actor, and you should have an amazing plan of all of the activities that you're doing and how you're directly contacting other people like producers and casting directors. You're building relationships all over town. You're having lunch. You're having coffee with the people that are in line with what your dream acting job is. Now, there's videos on how to get your dream acting job, but I don't have time for that right now. Just assuming you know how to go after your dream acting job, that's what you're going to tell the agent. I am going after this stuff. I'm doing all the work. you're going to collect the commissions, okay? All I want you to do specifically is get me in front of these 5 casting directors, assuming there are 5 casting directors in your town. And you should be handpicking those casting directors based on the work they do and how you are a fit, and also you have the desire to be in the projects that they are working on. Now, if you live in a smaller market, you may have to be less selective because there may only be 5 in the whole town. There may be 3 in the whole town. That's fine. In a big market, be more selective because there's going to be a lot more actors, right? So they're going to be a lot more selective. So you be selective and you tell them. In a smaller market, you still need to get to know these people and what they're doing, but you still may have to meet them anyway, and you may have to do some things that you're not a perfect fit for. But, you know, because there's fewer actors, maybe you're more of a fit than anyone else in town. And at some point, you may have to do something that isn't a perfect fit for what you want to do, but it's going to give you, you know, professional results. It's going to give you the right credit on your resume that will help you move up the ladder. And if you eventually want to go to a bigger market like Los Angeles, New York, London, Toronto, Vancouver, you know, Australia, you know, Sydney, whatever, then you would do that. So anyway, you tell them, look, this is all I want you to do. I need you by hook, crook, or foot, I don't even know if that's a saying, to get me in front of these people within the next 3 weeks. I don't care if they're busy casting. If they're busy casting, then get me in to you know, audition for something. Because there's always these excuses. Well, they're really busy casting. Well, I'm an actor, so duh, that's a perfect reason to get me in. Okay, skip the general, send me in for a specific audition. I'll tell you all about what I'm good for and what I want to read for, okay? So they're going to go, wow, this person's organized. And so if you just say, look, by hook, crook, or foot, you're going to get me in front of these people, they're going to go, okay, well, we'll do our best. And they'll say, okay, well, I expect you to pick up the phone, okay? I need you to pitch me like you're pitching yourself, because you are pitching yourself. Okay, I need you to pitch me like, I just signed a new actor. This guy's amazing. He is perfect for this role. You have to see him. You've never met him before. He's new to town. You have to see him. Whatever your story is, but the message is you have to see him, okay? And that's what I'd be telling the agent. Because, look, if they're not willing to do that, if they're scared to talk to casting directors, then you probably should just go to the casting office yourself. Because they're sending a new actor with just a headshot that doesn't really do anything. It has very little effect. It's so random. So you do that. They either say yes or no. Again, you may be stuck with this agent, but if that's the agent you're stuck with, then really all you have is kind of a secretary. You have someone that's basically taking calls if someone calls for an audition or an appointment, and then they're maybe sending you out, you know, by submission electronically. So basically they're a secretary. You know, they have no creativity, they're not taking ownership, and they're going to stay small. They're never going to get big because they're not trying to help their actors get seen. You know, not really trying. They're more scared of the overall big picture, just like most actors are, than they are scared of failing, okay? And that's a bad combination. If someone is more scared of failing than they are, sorry, if someone is more scared of, you know, getting in trouble with casting directors than they are of their business failing, then you may not want an agent at that point. You're fine without one. In fact, you're probably better off without one because you're going to take the foot off the gas thinking that these people are working for you, and they're not really working for you. This is not working for you, okay? Oh, you should see here. Oh, social media. Oh, hey, look what I ate for breakfast today. That's not sales. And everybody in this business is in sales one way or the other, okay? And especially when you're starting out, you are in direct sales. And if you don't understand that now, then you need to understand that right now, okay? Listen to me. You are in the field of direct sales. You are a door-to-door salesperson. You are selling vacuum cleaners. You are the vacuum cleaner. Some days they're going to want what you have. Other days they won't. But you got to keep selling them because you know that you're going to find those people that do want them. And think about it. If your vacuum cleaner or you are something that solves a problem, then who are you to deny these people who need your product, your vacuum cleaner? Who are you to deny them of it? I mean, that would be cruel to leave someone with a dirty carpet or an inferior vacuum when you have something much better. and you're just scared of a little rejection, well, why don't you be more enthusiastic about helping people and be that person? I am here to help you. I am here to help you. If you don't want my help, that's fine. That's fine. I'll go find someone else to help. I hope I can help you in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you later. That's a fun day for everybody. And while you're there, you can even compliment them, make them feel good. You can tell them their office looks nice. If it's cold in their office, you can take the sweater off your back and say, here, would you like my sweater? I'll come back tomorrow and get it. And then you're actually deepening the relationship. You see how this stuff works? It's amazing, and it's so much fun if you just do it. So, okay, you take the meeting, you tell them this is all they need to do, get me in front of a few people. If they do that, great. If they agree to do that, amazing. And of course, you're also going to say, look, I need a report of what you've done. I would say weekly is better, because if you say monthly and they get behind, then it's going to be really hard to keep up. So I would just say, look, every Friday, could you please just send me a note of all the submissions that you've sent me on? Because then I'll know if you're submitting to me to people and they're not seeing me, then I can approach these people myself and I can do a little more, face to face. I can let them see me, who I am, what I sound like, all of that, so I can get my shot. Because I know when I get my shot, I'm going to do really good work. Okay, so you tell them you want them to get you in front of some casting directors, 5 of them if it's LA where there's tons of them. Then you say, look, I need a weekly report where I know what you submitted me on, and that way I don't have to bug you, right? That way I don't have to take your time on the phone, and I don't have to get all insecure. I'll know what's going on, and I know what I can do to make it better, okay? And then you can sign on the dotted line. Boom, you're done, okay? That's it. I probably have left out a few things, but I would say overall, that is all you need to know. Now let's talk about, what do you do when an agent approaches you? Well, usually agents don't approach actors unless they're extremely established already, okay? Because why would you approach some random actor off of some, Actors Access, Now Casting website when they don't have any credits, right? Who's lining up to get those actors? I wouldn't be. If I was an agent, I would want established people. I want to know people can do something that if I send them out, they're going to do a great job. So why are they approaching you? You got to ask yourself that. There's 2 reasons. One, maybe they found you on one of these websites, and maybe they're just getting started, sort of like you are. So, there's some sense there. It's like you're kind of both at the same level, and they can't get any really good actors or, actors with credibility. So they, are approaching people they think, you look pretty good, Or maybe they held a workshop and you paid them money, dummy. For what? I don't know. But you paid them money. You went to a workshop because you're too scared to approach them directly with just saying, hello, I'm an amazing actor. Please represent me. No, you had to go and pay them $50 or $20. And they said, I'm a great agent. Yeah. And you're all awesome too. I love you guys. And I hope you all feel good for that $20. Maybe they're approaching you after one of those, which is probably legitimate because hopefully the organization that held the event where they presented vets them a little bit. But even if so maybe they don't vet them. And so if someone approaches you through one of those things, look them up, research the heck out of them, see what you can find out. Does it look like they might be a fit before you go in and meet them? And then if you do go in and meet them and you actually are interested in them, not because you're a desperate actor and any agent will do. No, not because you're that, because it makes sense to you. You just hadn't found them before, or maybe you hadn't even been looking for an agent before. But if it makes sense, then you do what I just told you to do for the agents that you're approaching. Okay, you do that whole get me in front of 5 casting directors in the next month. I want a submission report, and then maybe we'll have a quarterly discussion about how things are going and what we can do to improve it. Okay, if you have debriefings every quarter with your agent, then things should never get out of control, okay? And anyone who refuses to do anything like that, I would just walk away. Like, why do you want to work with someone like that? They don't want you to see what their process is. Like, if their process is not completely open and they don't want agents basically surrounding them going, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, cool. Then, what kind of a person are you actually dealing with? So if they approach you, it's basically the same, but you need to be a little more on guard because agents typically don't approach actors, except at the very highest levels where, there's a feeding frenzy. Who wants to get all the $1 million actors, right? So The other reason an agent might approach you is that they are a scammer, okay? They're going to approach you regardless of who you are. They're just literally pulling names out of a hat. It's like a property scam. You know, they're selling you swampland in Florida. Nothing against Florida swampland, okay? Got to be politically correct here. So they may approach you and they'll flatter the heck out of you. Oh, I saw your reel and your pictures and I think you're really going to go far in this business. I have been subjected to these things and I have fallen for them. I fell for a modeling scam. Can you believe it? Well, it's obvious because I'm a 10 out of 10, obviously. But I fell for one of those things and that's what they were telling me. We're like, they don't tell you you're a 10. They tell you you're a 9 because that maybe is more believable. And you're like, oh, maybe I am a 9. Am I a 9? Whatever. Anyway, that cost me $500 and now I'm paying that forward to you guys, okay? So you never have to suffer through this. Don't believe people when they approach you and tell you you're amazing, okay? You need to be in charge of your life. So when they approach you, be very wary because there's scammers out there. And what they'll do is they'll say, we think you're so amazingly talented. Please come in for a meeting. And then they'll run all sorts of scams on you. They'll, first of all, try and refer you to headshot photographers. Never use an agent-recommended photographer. I don't care if you think it'll make them like you more. You don't need them to like you more. They'll like you a lot more if you make them money. That's the only reason they're going to really like you is if you make them money. No referrals because then there's usually kickbacks involved. And even if there isn't kickbacks, forget the referrals because what does an agent know about the right photographer for you, the individual? They don't have time to think about it like we think about ourselves, right? It's not, I wouldn't tell him where to go to the dentist. So why is he telling me where to get my pictures taken? I'm not really that concerned if my agent likes my pictures because everybody's got an opinion, okay? That's the thing with opinions. Everyone's got one, okay? And the value of advice is often commensurate with the price. Now, that doesn't actually apply today because my advice is priceless because I am doing this to help actors. I'm not doing this to help myself. What do I get out of it, right? I'm a resource. But an agent is not a resource. They are someone who's trying to make money off you, one way or the other. That's what they're trying to do. So they're going to tell you all sorts of amazing things about yourself. And if they do, then, you know, I'd be very concerned. But what you want to avoid entirely is parting with money. An agent is supposed to get paid when you get paid. Anybody who wants money up front, it's a scam. Even if somehow it's not a scam, it's a scam. Maybe the agent doesn't even know they're scammers because agencies get paid. Real estate agents, right? Perfect example. You don't pay real estate agents up front. You pay them after you sell the house. And then you go, I have to pay you how much? And you did what? That's life, okay? One of my clients, Jason, who's killing it right now, had an agent in New York. And he was paying this guy to do what I don't know. He was just basically taking phone calls from casting or production saying, hey, we'd like to book Jason for this movie. He didn't even submit him in Los Angeles, okay? The guy wasn't a scammer, but he certainly didn't have to work very hard for his money. And sometimes that's life until you make a change, okay? Now he's with a big, huge LA agency, and they are very proactively working for him, and they're earning their 10%. This other guy wasn't earning it. So it's very easy to be emotional and try and be nice, but don't do any of that stuff. Do what's right for you, okay? So if they're approaching you and they're asking for money, just walk away. Just walk away. The second somebody asks you for money or tells you where to go for headshots, walk away. It is so easy to find headshot photographers. I mean, you could be your own very best headshot photographer. I have a video on that, okay? I'm probably not going to post the link because I just know I won't. But if you look up, take your own headshots or just look up my videos, search in my channel, you'll find how to take your own headshots, okay? For the price of one set of headshots at a professional photographer, you can take them for the rest of your life, okay? I'm filming this on my camera, the same camera I take my headshots on, okay? So you don't need to pay for that stuff. You certainly don't need to get referrals that may involve kickbacks from some unscrupulous agent, and there's plenty of them. I went to my graduation when I graduated business school. We had this guy who was an investment banker. And I don't know, I can't remember what he used to do, but he said, I became an investment banker. And he said, if you don't know what an investment banker is, it's similar to an agent. And and that is because he said it's a cross between a prostitute and a vampire. Okay? They're basically selling themselves, and they are sucking the blood out of their clients. So I wouldn't say that agents are quite that bad. Maybe they are at some of the big agencies, but most of them aren't that bad. I don't want to totally disparage them, but that's kind of how you should treat your search for them, is assume they could bite you on the neck and suck you dry if you're not careful, okay? So that's why I'm giving you this information, is so that you can make smart decisions and not get taken for a ride, okay? Trust me, I've been taken for a ride on all our behalves a couple of times. Now I'm a little bit smarter. I buy a lot less stuff from late night infomercials. Let's just put it that way. Okay? So that's pretty much it, guys. If the person seems legit, then fine. You use the legitimate approach as though you approached them. And if they're illegitimate because they start asking for money in any way whatsoever, then walk away. And speaking of which, I don't want any of you guys paying for any meetings with anyone. You don't need to. It's not normal. They obviously aren't making enough money doing their real job, which means they're probably not that good at their real job. And so don't pay them to meet them because they're not worth it by default. If you have to pay to meet them, they're not worth meeting because they should be busy doing their agent job, okay? They should be busy doing their casting director job or whatever. It's usually not the top of the heap that's doing paid meetings, workshops, etc., what you call them. It's the lower rungs. It's the vultures, okay? And I'm not saying that because they're bad people. I'm saying they're not doing particularly well at their job, so they're looking for other ways to supplement their income. All right, so, unfortunately, they don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. They have their own best interests at heart. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and you will like and subscribe and share. And that's pretty much all I have to offer. At the end of the day, you are by far the most important ingredient in your acting career. Your agent is really not that important. They can come in handy in certain situations. Most of you won't find that out until you become quite successful because they just can't be bothered with people who aren't making a lot of money, right? I mean, how much of your time are you going to dedicate to someone who's making $1,000 a year or something like that? So really, you need to be your own agent and your own CEO and all of that stuff, and you're going to remain that way. You never turn over the reins to somebody else. I don't care if it's, Ari Emanuel at Endeavor. You are still the boss. You are still you. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know what's in your head, your heart, or your soul. Only you know that. So you have to direct. The carriage. Otherwise, if you let go, the horses go where they want. Or if you give the reins over to your passenger, well, he'll go wherever he wants, and it's probably not the same place you want to go. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much all I have. I hope this was good, and I will talk to you soon.